Dice Paper Roll acknowledges the traditional custodians of this land. We pay our respects to elders past, present, and future, for they hold the songlines, the stories, the traditions, the culture, and the hopes of First Nations Australia. This land is, was, and always will be traditional First Nations country. We also acknowledge and pay our respect to the traditional custodians of the lands on which we meet, including the Wurundjeri, the Boonwurrung, the Wathaurong, the Tongarong, and the Dja Dja Wurrung peoples of the Kulin Nation.
The screeching sound the cannon's wheels made was unbearable. Its metallic and rich gunpowder scent was scintillating. Not that it mattered, but the cannon was red and yellow. In the distance, the sound of the carnival's fireworks indicated they had begun. Perfect. The timing was perfect. Naturally, it was quite a small cannon, but it would do the trick just fine. That would show them. That would show all of them. No doubt, they would see him as a hero, the savior, the one who had brought truth to the world, and that was going to be special. The goggles snapped into place, and the helmet fit snugly as the cricket lowered himself into the hole. This was going to be fun.
Oh,
the helmet was also red and yellow. The smoke from the cannon was cast in a prismatic glow, ever-changing from the fireworks, and as it dissipated, it formed letters. Letters that formed words. Words that read, "Dice Paper Roll into the Feywild."
Welcome, pod friends. You have found yourself accidentally, incidentally, or intentionally here with Dice Paper Roll into the Feywild. It is episode 9. My name's Greg.
Sorry to any German listeners.
Yeah, well, that's our German content. That's our that lets us broadcast on the German ABC. GBC.
Ever since Curse of Strahd, there has been a distinct lack of German content in our episodes.
Still got that bell?
What could it possibly be?
I do not.
Oh, disappointing. Well, my name's Greg. I am playing Doelene Delacroix. Emil.
Hey, my name is Emil Freund, if you will. And I am playing, as far as you know, Randy Shackelford, the cricket who just burst through the roof and through the ceiling of the tent, because it has a roof and a ceiling. It's well insulated. It's a cold night out there. And he's found himself in the carnival amidst the company of this strange and motley troupe. Ben!
I am playing Unit, the Warforged Rune Knight. I am now level 4.
And
Danny.
I'm Dan. I play Sir Walter Winston Winklepicker III, a frogman who is also level 4, and he's a bard. But he is most definitely a frog.
Man.
Baby. Man, baby. Jack!
No, Lauren.
Lauren!
Why does that keep happening?
You missed one episode and then...
I knew that you were not going to say my name. I actually knew it. Like, in my, I'm like, Dan's going to go to Jack. He's going to go to Jack.
You made it
He's
happen.
forgotten I'm here. That's
To be fair,
fine.
he's playing a frog, so it makes sense that he jumped.
And you just said man baby, and I was going to be like, speaking of man babies, I am playing Kevin Strangeways, a human artificer who was a small boy trapped inside a large man. Jack.
Gee, that was a wasted segue. That was so good. What a pity.
I'm so sorry.
Greg,
I'll
did you
fix it in
say-
post.
Fine. I know you're going to lose sleep over it tonight, and that's enough. That's all I ask.
Greg, did you introduce Doelene? I can't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said her name. You didn't say anything about the rabbit stuff.
We're so
Well, I thought
good
we were
at
going.
this.
I thought
He
we were
was-
going for short intros. We're like
I
short
know.
intros. Everybody, stop
Yeah.
fucking chattering on about your waistcoat and your pocket watch and your bulging satchel.
But in true DPR form, we have found a way still to stretch out the
6
intro.
minutes. 6
That was
minutes.
me. That was me. We haven't even spoken
all.
about doublets. It's crazy.
Oh, I did
Jack.
doublet chat.
Speaking of doublets, I'm not wearing one. I am going to be the dungeon master this evening, and for the rest of the Feywild, hopefully.
Unless we sounds like we're going to
Hopefully,
perform a
until we
coup.
decide, you know what? Yeah, we're going to take over for you, Jack.
Yeah, if I play my cards right, these guys might let me keep playing.
Just don't airstrike my character, and I won't turn around and roll back in. Take a couple of cities.
Yeah, right.
Topical. All right, moving on.
Oh. Oh yeah. I guess we'll just hop in. I'll do the previously on. The party: Doelene Delacroix, a hare; Walter Winston Winklepicker III, a frogman; Kevin Strangeways, a man-sized boy; and Unit, a robot ticket machine or whack-a-mole machine, chased a Kenku named Kettlesteam through the carnival. Upon catching her, the party learned that Kettlesteam, like Madrick before her, has lost contact with Zybilna. She believes there is a conspiracy afoot, something beneath it all that the carnival owners Mr. Witch and Mr. Light have been hiding to save their business. Of course, while the party was discussing all of this, the roof was torn apart by a cricket named Randy Shackelford, who had
Hello.
been blasted in through the roof. Ceiling. Tent. Roof. You know. And you're all caught up.
You know, that sounds like it was for the listener, but I have a feeling that might have been for us as much as them.
It was definitely for me.
That's why I started doing it.
Thank you.
You were real quiet in the last game, Lauren. I only came in the last 10 minutes and still had more airtime than you.
Mm. It's true.
Yep.
I have
Oh, I was
never,
quiet. Is that? Oh, right.
I have never seen a tent of such construction, and I actually read a whole big book of tents once, and I've never seen one with a. Is that a buttressed ceiling?
It's a floating
was.
buttress.
It was, said the narrator, and moved on.
Kevin looks up. Where did that disembodied voice come from?
It's the PA. They're piping their mistruths into every one of these here tents.
Kevin,
Yes.
you are floating on a river, but the water that touches you is not wet. All around you, little tadpoles swim, nibbling at your 8-year-old body. As you float, you can see your reflection in the sky, aging. Like the ticking of a watch, you hear the clinking of a hammer on stone. It is distant. Scars knit themselves along your body. Your hair grows. You can hear the thudding of water before you and the soft clinking of a distant hammer. Sitting up in the now waist-deep water, a frog with a crown turns to you, its tongue snatching at a passing fly. As the hammer tolls, the frog leaps over the foamy edge into the abyss below. Looking beyond the water to a mountain, smoke billows from it. Your eyes are almost mesmerized by the smoke. It pulls you towards it. The hammer is loud now. You walk a path towards the mountain, a carved stone entrance before you. The familiar, thick, metallic smell of a forge hits your nostrils. You feel blood trickle from your nose. Wiping it away, your hand also wipes away the scene before you. The hammer falls. The pain splits your head in two as the hammer slams into the stone anvil. The giant who holds the hammer is lost in a shroud of steam as they plunge their work into the water bath beside the forge. Lifting it up, they inspect it. A familiar shape. Is that Unit? Your vision swims as you look into the water where Unit's lifeless body is dangled. The reflection of Unit's eyes upon open and glow. The water ripples with the sound of the hammer. You look up to find yourself in a castle. Moonlight pours through the stained glass ceiling, playing upon the floating figure above the cauldron. Their form encased in a crystal amber. The woman gently spins. But as her head rotates towards you, Kevin, her eyes open, light blinding you. Through the light, you hear the thumping hooves of a unicorn, a beautiful, glowing glass unicorn. Its horn is missing. It kneels at your side. As you pull yourself up onto the unicorn's back, you look down to find yourself straddling a wooden rocking horse. Your steed gallops, rocking you wildly. The mists are thick around you. Ahead, you can see the silhouettes of 3 crones dancing around a unicorn's horn. It glows. Above them, an hourglass spins on its side, the sand stuck in either chamber. The sound of the hammer grows louder, and your vision washes away like water, colour. Kevin, you wake to the sound of thumping. Is that footsteps? Blurry figures standing around you? The tent you're in is colourful. The yelling is painful. Your mouth is dry and your head hurts.
Owie, owie, everything hurts. What's happening?
It's okay, Kevin. You're having what we call a hangover. What we need to do is get you some Gatorade, maybe smoke a joint or something to ease it,
Yes.
and or have a little sniff from this bag. I've got my snuff box here.
I've had plenty of hangovers before. I don't know what you're talking about. I've had heaps, and I'm pretty sure that's not actually going to really help in the long run.
If the post-mix Coke from a couple of episodes did not help,
Yes,
then
now that's going to be the ticket.
well, you've already had one of those earlier, Kevin. We could try and get you
I
another
can have
one.
some more. I can have some more sugar today. It's fine.
Oh, well, there's totally a Slurpee machine right here.
Ah, yes, vitamin S, Slurpee. Kevin's gonna crawl up to his feet and just
go into the back of Unit's body.
and then finds a pair of sunglasses and puts them on. Is rifling around in Unit to find some very dark sunglasses.
One of the panels slides open on the side, the whack-a-mole panel, and the little soul mole comes out and goes, "Here you go, Kevin," and flicks out the coolest pair of shades you ever did see.
That's right.
Yeah.
Why is
flicks
that
them
giant?
on.
Why is that giant man climbing inside that box?
I am not a box. I am a robot.
Oh.
But I'm a giant man. Yes, I like you.
Ah, nice to meet you. He shifties his eyes left to right, left to right.
Do you, Emil, do you want to describe yourself for Kevin?
Yeah, you see a kind of gray-green cricket. He's got cricket legs, and I said cricket arms last time, but they're also cricket legs. They're just at the front of his thorax. He's slowly playing his legs like a bit of a violin, reep, reep, reep. And he's kind of sussing the cave out. He's not settled. He's kind of shifting back and forth a bit. His bug eyes are kind of bugging, but you don't actually see that because he's got mirrored goggles on at the moment, which he then pulls off his face and puts on his forehead, being careful not to get them on his antennae.
Yeah.
Great. Kevin just looks him up and down, goes, well met, I'm Kevin Strangeways, and then goes a bit cross-eyed and has a cheeky spew, right? Just hasn't really taken in whatever Randy's got to offer. It's like,
Get it all out. Get it all out.
There's so much.
I didn't think you had any left, Kevin.
Me
The mop
neither.
Comes out of the side of me and cleans it all up.
That's a good unit.
Yes,
I would have thought you would want to retain as much hydration as possible, Kevin. You look a little pale.
I think I need more than just one Slurpee today.
All right.
And
well,
then all around you, clouds of dust rise with the thumping of feet. And before anyone can do anything, piñata hands burst up from the dirt, grabbing at every single person in the room.
No, Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
No, it's like my nightmare.
It's not my birthday.
All of you are thrown to your knees by the piñatas and dragged away from the center, except for Kettle Steam, who's also there, who struggles at the hands holding her beak shut. She lies at the center in the crater where Randy has just come through. The torn tent lifts around you, held aloft with a big grin on his face by a giant, Ferris, who waves at you all. Hello again, unit.
hello, Mr. Wheel.
And in every direction around you are rows of carnival hands ready for anything. You are surrounded.
Ah,
Yeah, I knew they'd come for me.
There is
their hands,
nothing
they're so small.
you can do.
Can we roll
Is
an
this-
insight check to see if they mean us harm?
My
Yeah, go for
God,
it.
what is that smell?
It smells like cabbage. Oh, I got
Do you think
a...
there's lollies
15.
inside them, though?
You can
Like-
see that they're not, they don't necessarily mean you harm, but they're definitely ready to make, like, they don't want you leaving where you are. And you can't leave anyway because you're held in place by piñata arms.
Can I
It-
whack one of them to see if lollies are inside?
You can try.
I artifice, yes, so I can
Yeah.
quickly build a small thwacking stick. It's just a hockey stick. It's just
Uh-huh.
dad's hockey stick from way back.
Mhm.
Yeah, great. What is
Kevin
that?
has a dad?
You know,
Grandma's
do you know what I'm
hockey
talking
stick.
about? Like when you
Grandma's
do have a
hockey
home
stick.
pinata and you just have
Kevin
Yeah.
just
Whatever's-
pauses the action to nip out to Dad's shed.
I'm still confused about what you mean about pinata arms, but anyway.
The arms
just
of
like
hand,
big-
paper mache,
Big
right?
arms.
paper
Yeah.
mache.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or it is a 10. Thwack, 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 thwack. I get 3 goes. That's
you
the rules.
you just like swing in the air and like it's completely ineffective.
Sorry, my
there's-
hand-eye coordination is not up to speed. I am very hungover.
Oh no, I'm trapped here by this newspaper and PVA glue mix. If only I could possibly break through this dried paper.
Has someone got some water? Quickly! Kevin, your Slurpee! Pour it on the paper arms!
Or vomit
As,
again.
every
You-
time you all struggle, more arms burst from the ground and like pull you down. And so it's like tons of paper. It's not just like
If only I could break these paper arms made to break.
Why don't you try, Doelene? Anything's possible.
Okay, I'm gonna
This is
give
so
it a strength.
terrifying, yet also very festive.
I'm gonna give it a strength check.
give it a go.
20.
Oh,
Dirty or
It's
natural?
dirty. It's
Dirty.
Yeah,
Dirty 20.
You can tell because
Yeah.
his tone
The
didn't change.
more
20.
hands spurt from
20.
the ground and then just sort of drag you down onto the ground and also cover your mouth and start covering all of your mouths. For convenience for me.
I knew this is how I'd go.
Not the moneymaker! No!
It's not clear where the colourful wooden door had come from. Perhaps it had always been there. Even so, it swings open, revealing the inside of a brightly lit carnival caravan. Ducking their heads as they step through the portal are 2 figures, straightening out and standing to full height at around 9 and 10 foot. These two shadow kai are imposing beyond anything any of you have ever seen. The first, a burly, rotund male elf, dressed in a gold pinstriped three-piece suit, a top hat resting on his bald head. In his hand, he clutches a cane. He stares lazily at the pocket watch in his hand before clicking it. Everywhere except for the circle where the tent had been, including the carnival hands, freezes. The figure's gaze turns to the struggling kettle steam. Why, hello, Miss Kettle Steam. Pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. Though I am sure you already know me, I never hesitate to abide by the formalities of a greeting. My name is Mr. Witch, and this is my esteemed colleague, Mr. Light. He gestures to the other tall, svelte Shadakai, who is tapping the inanimate carnival hands and straightening a few of their hats and ties absent-mindedly. Dressed in a red and white diamond, covered just as one piece, his shoes curling at the end with bells on, and a wand with a golden butterfly on the end inlaid with red glass at his hip. His hat wobbles as he turns to Kettle Steam. Oh, I didn't see you there, Kettle Steam. What a coincidence. As the words Kettle Steam curl around his tongue, Mr. Light gestures with finger quotation marks. You've been naughty, and we can't have that. No, not one bit. The carnival is a wreck, and whilst I can fix that, I am not sure the geese will ever be the same. The geese have been honking their protests, and they're threatening to go. Mr. Witch, what are we to do? Well, Mr. Light, I must admit, first we need to know who Ms. Kettle Steam really is. And as you well know, appearances around here can be most deceiving. Kettle Steam's struggles now appear to become frantic, and the papered hands appear unfazed. That is a tough sentence.
You want to take that one again, bud?
Do you want to give it another run, mate?
Let me drink some water.
It's no good for the stream, but I'll fix it in post for the podcast. If you're watching our YouTube stream, tune into the podcast. It includes music and sound effects.
And where you don't have to listen to this bullshit.
I just love the paper mache hands.
Yeah, I know. What are we to do?
Yeah, sorry.
Kettle
Steam's struggles now appear to become frantic. The papered hands appear unfazed. Now, Ms. Kettle Steam, no need for that. Gosh, where are my manners? I really must apologize for barging in like this. We didn't even knock. It is not usually how we like to run things around here. But you forced our hands. And with that, I think you should know this might hurt a little bit. For I suspect that we are not really dealing with a Kenku, are we, Mr. Light? No. Frankly, I don't believe we are, Mr. Witch. Now, Kettle Steam, we've caught you, so Mr. Light and myself are going to explain what is going to happen. We believe you are not a Kenku, but in fact, working for someone that we don't very much like. You've been trying to interfere with our carnival, increasing the possibility that we lose our pact. Mr. Light, that is quite enough. The two take a step towards Kettle Steam. Miss Kettlesteam, this might hurt. Kettlesteam is lifted into the air by the hands, her feathers bristling in an invisible wind, particles of light surrounding her. As it emanates from the two elves, there is a great snap. And the piñata hands are blasted back, and the kenku falls to the ground in a heap. The two elves gasp. Well, that wasn't what we expected. You're neither a ghoul nor a hag. Mr. Witch, what have we here? Mr. Witch frowns and bends down over the pile of feathers. Well, Mr. Light, it looks to me like we've got a kenku. One Miss Kettlesteam, I presume. Kettlesteam lifts herself up, heavily breathing, a small trickle of blood seeping from her beak. Well, who else would it be? Yes, Miss Kettlesteam, it seems there's been a bit of a mix-up. And Miss Kettlesteam, again, I apologize. But you see, we really couldn't be sure. You have been a right nuisance for a good little while now, haven't you? And thanks to the particular threads of fate that, well, led directly to you, we've found ourselves in your tent. Well, sort of. He glances up at the tent being held aloft by Ferris. Now, Mr. Witch, who are all these fellows? I mean, I had heard of Walter here. Do you know, Mr. Light? I don't actually know. And the hands suspending you all loosen. And thus ends my fucking monologue.
Now,
What the fuck? I've been silenced way too many episodes, okay? So I don't need this shit anymore. What the fuck? I'm part owner in this, and you come in here and you assault a part owner of this here carnival? How fucker double dare you?
Well,
Mr.
Walter,
Witch? Mr. Light?
I don't believe that you do own this carnival. I believe you just signed a piece of paper.
I definitely became part owner in this timeshare. I went to the seminar and everything. So,
Well, that's
think-
not how it works, I'm afraid.
well, I'm a really good businessman, you see, and I make great investments, the best investments, and I think I own part of this. And
Well,
I'm
I'm not
going to
gonna-
suggest that I do, in fact, own this by casting suggestion.
Okay.
Nice.
What do I have to do to stop you doing that?
You have to roll a wisdom saving throw. You have to beat a 14. Wisdom saving throw of 14.
I have to get out the book.
Oh, that's nice. Actually, that one doesn't. Yeah.
Is that a first for Dice Paper Roll?
What,
I don't
Jack
think
getting
that
out a book?
What, bringing out the player's
I have
handbook?
to get the book is definitely, yeah.
You know we've got it on D&D Beyond, right?
Yeah, but
I want to flick through pages.
it's more
Tactile.
good for the
Well,
stream or whatever. I
You,
don't know.
you can you can
Do
just
go
you can
on.
just roll
Okay.
a wisdom saving throw and see if it succeeds, and then
Yeah, because you might
Wisdom?
just roll a 14 naturally.
yeah, wisdom saving.
17. So you
Yeah. So you feel tendrils of my words. They seep into your ears and they start to kind of confuse Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, but they see through the facade and know that I have just cast a spell on them. Or attempted to.
Walter.
Oh.
That's just not going to work.
Yes,
and then
I
the
see that.
pinata hands come out of the ground.
Oh,
and just
not again.
grab you
Straight on
and
the mouth.
Slam you to the ground and straight onto the mouth.
I am beginning to like these pinata hands.
I have to say, it is very rude to lay hands on your guests in such a way. I know Walter can be annoying, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. However,
Yes, but it is also rude to pretend like you own the carnival that you do not.
To be fair,
So,
I see your point. Yeah, to be fair, as Unit says here, my learned colleague Unit here has indicated, I believe Walter truly believes he is a part owner of this.
yes.
Well,
he is but misinformed. He paid a large sum of money at the gates, but probably doesn't realize he may have been scammed.
now I have to say that we can take on the prices as notice, but that's just how much it costs. Carnivals are expensive. Inflation is high.
During this exchange, the grasshopper you know as Randy Shackleford attempts to slip behind one of the poles holding up the tent and scuttle upwards into the shadows and hide up there. So I'm gonna roll a stealth check if that's possible.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a natty 19. Plus a 5 makes it a 24.
Yeah, so you do that. But are you scuttling up Ferris wheel or
Are
'cause
there
that's where
10
the
poles
tent
still?
is. No.
Ah,
the
okay,
tent's-
sorry. I just thought the tent poles might still be in the ground. Or is there anywhere that he might see
You
to
could-
hide? But
you
maybe
could hide
behind
behind-
Ferris's leg or something. I don't
You
know.
could hide behind like the frozen carnival hands if you'd like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The pinatas. Yeah, he hides behind one of the frozen carnival hands.
just drop to the ground in this forest of paper hands.
So he spreads himself and his legs kind of all go out and he forms the shape of a hand behind the other hand.
Yeah.
The
Nice.
Mr. Witch and Mr. Light appear unfazed.
Well, you didn't notice it, according to my stuff. You should maybe pull that book out again. I don't know.
Yeah, I rolled an 8, so you're good.
Excuse me, Misters Witch and Light, but I really do believe there has been some misunderstanding here. We were on our way to the workshop when we encountered the Kenku, and now we are here and we seem to have upset you. And believe it or not, Walter is innocent, as annoying as he may be. Perhaps you could just release us and we can be on our way to the workshop.
He is annoying, and we are very sorry about it.
Well,
Yeah, he's so annoying. I think he might be the most annoying person I've ever met in my entire long
Maybe
life.
maybe not annoying. Maybe just like deeply frustrated. You know, like it just really gets on you.
He never shuts up. Does anyone else find that?
He is so rude.
Walter, can you roll a
Randy breaks the
opposed
stealth
grapple
of
check or whatever?
Randy breaks the stealth of their hand just to say, yeah, that guy's really annoying. His breath smells too.
What kind of check? Sorry, Jack.
I just opposed strength, so
Did that-
Well, I rolled a 3
Oh shit! Back in the hand.
Did that armchair
with a
just talk?
-1, so it's a 2.
yeah, I'm sorry. You're still grappled.
Yeah, frog's not super strong.
No.
Can I roll a diplomacy check or something, a persuasion for my brilliant speech that I just role played before?
I'm
Yeah,
coming to that.
Kevin Strangeways just kind of reared up behind you with the glasses on and just went, yeah, what he said, yeah.
Surely all of our
Group.
support is an assist, right? Like,
Yeah.
Is that advantage?
Yeah, sure, why not? Go for it.
15.
15? That's a 9 plus
Less.
2. They consider what you said. They're well, yes, I guess we've kind of gotten off on the wrong foot. Clearly, Kettle Steam is who she says she is. Damn right I am. That's Kettle Steam. There's 3 characters I need to talk between myself.
We just met her too, by the way. We just met Kettle. We're not with her.
She stole Walter's voice and now she wants us to find someone in the Feywild.
Yes, kettle steam. I think it's probably time you explained yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we do too.
Yes. Yep.
So I need to find a voice for this character.
I'll fix it in post.
Kettle steam.
Yeah, a bit Kermity. Kermity's good.
Oh, a bit Kermity.
Plus,
Hello.
that's good.
Chicken change. That's
Yes,
grand.
I'm kettle steam. And she still sounds a little bit like a crackling radio as well. Well, you see, I was under the impression that there's children disappearing, and so I'm trying to get to the bottom of the situation at the carnival. And so I've been just messing with things and trying to get to the bottom of it. Do you have any idea about these children disappearing?
I would like to call bullshit on that. I would like to call bullshit on that because you did not mention that at all last.
I
10
was
minutes ago.
interrupted by the
Also-
falling cricket.
Also, kind of a messy plan.
Where is that guy?
Who?
The falling cricket, Randy.
Oh,
Randy.
the little...
Randy has like gone from one hand to another hand to another hand to another hand, trying to get closer and closer to Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. And he's trying to pick the pocket, as in, well, get that thing that's around the waist that you described earlier, the red bit of glass, whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to try and sneak that off the belt of, I can't remember which one it was, Witch or Light.
Mr. Light.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell by the light, the big L on his belt buckle. So I guess I'll sleight of hand that.
Yeah,
Shall
go
I?
for it.
Yeah, all right. Oh boy, it's a 6. No, sorry, that's an 8. It's an 8.
As you reach across, a pinata hand grabs at your arm and slams you into the ground.
Oh,
And there he is. Anyway, so we have a pact with some people. I don't want to say who because it's confidential, but
he's talking about the masked ringleader.
no, I am not. That
Well, the mind-altering pinata thief.
no.
What is
Anyway.
with this guy?
The shadowy fortune teller. He's in league with all of them.
What? Are you?
I'm
are you
also
guys-
perplexed. No, he just arrived too. I don't.
Yes,
He
this
fell
is
out
a-
of the sky.
very confusing situation.
You're telling me.
Anyway, children are not meant to be being snatched. There are some people who have stuff stolen from them if they've lost, if they enter the carnival unpaid. But children being snatched, that's a step too far. I need to get to the bottom of this. Kettle Steam, do you know where that happened? Well, I saw them at the Fairy Floss factory. I saw them disappear into there. I suspect that's where they might be going.
The fairy floss factory is real?
Yeah, it's a mind-altering substance.
Well, actually, well, no, it's not a mind-altering substance, but it is real.
Well,
It
are you
is-
sure? You should try and cut sugar out of your diet. It'll change your life.
Well, at least remove a few cavities.
Conspiracy theorist on a health kick as well. Do you happen to do CrossFit and also be a vegan? Which one do you tell people about first, Randy?
Neither. You just told them both of my things.
Well-
Also, show me a grasshopper that ain't vegan.
Can I roll an insight check on the stuff Kettle Steam just said?
Yeah,
See if she's lying.
yeah,
Because she
go for
didn't
it.
mention any of that shit before. Oh, God. Wow, she seems to be telling the truth, you guys.
Well, I think her plan's a little chaotic. Can I also?
Yeah.
But however, chaotic is sometimes a good approach. And so I'm going to let this one pass.
I could also roll an insight check.
Yeah, go for it, Kevin.
I think that would be
Give
very
it a
funny.
go.
Where are you? Where is it?
Hungover Kevin has the most insight into what's going on.
Here we
That would be
go. 13.
Oh, I actually have to roll to oppose that.
Yes. I actually think that, look, this Slurpee's really kicking in. You know what? Because I fucking love sugar. Yeah.
Kettlestein failed that, but you can tell that she's telling the truth. She's kind of untrustworthy in general, but she is actually telling the truth.
All right, well, answer me this, Kettle Steam. Why did you not mention this before? Is it true, everything you said about Zybilna?
Yes. I was just interrupted by the cricket man who fell through the roof.
Oh, you
And
know
the end of the
Zybilna?
last episode.
I see. It was to be continued.
That's right.
Walter gets a finger around some of the paper mache that's covering his lips and goes, "Well, you should have probably led with that."
Yeah, I guess I should. I wasn't really in control of myself. When I heard your voice, it was like I didn't have a say. It was weird.
You probably should have given all the information.
The hands sort of loosen on you, Walter, and you're free to participate again.
Speaking of information, did you say that Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, that anybody who enters this carnival for free, gratis, they get something stolen from them?
That's right.
Oh.
Not everyone gets the same thing. But I can't say I know what it's gonna be.
How would someone, if they had something stolen from them, rectify that?
You go to Lost and Property.
Lost and found. Is that where the kids are? Has anyone checked the lost and found?
No, that's not where the kids are.
Oh.
And in fact, you won't get it in anywhere on this plane. You need to travel to the Feywild and take it up with the big people upstairs.
Isn't the carnival named after you? Aren't you the big people upstairs?
Well, you see, our patron of the carnival is Zybilna. Zybilna is no longer contactable for reasons that we don't fully understand.
That's what
And,
Kettlestein said.
And Madrick.
Yes, there's a bit of a pattern going on. You might say that.
Let me guess, you want us to find Zybilna for you.
Oh, no, I don't care either way.
But
We've got a good thing going. I'm not touching nothing.
Didn't you say that you had a pact of some description with Zybilna? If she's uncontactable, wouldn't it stands to reason that might interfere with your pact, wouldn't it?
Yes, well, there is that. I must admit. You bring up a good point, Walter.
Thank you.
There is the problem that, we made a pact many, many years ago where we were to not necessarily be the owners of this carnival. We were the owners of a different carnival. And as a result of the pact, we swapped. But the next time that we meet that other carnival, we'll have to swap back. And we don't want that to happen.
Right.
Why didn't you want it to happen?
We rather like this carnival. We've grown to love it. And it has grown to love us.
It does have lots of good attractions, like Mr. Wheel up there.
He was one of our finest acquisitions.
I mean, who doesn't love a carnival where children go missing? Sounds
Yes,
like a
well-
great business plan.
Is it just a coincidence then that the carnival is called Witchlight and the names are
No,
Witch and Light?
It's
does it just
Nope.
happen to be that way?
we did name it after ourselves once we took it over.
Once you took it over. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Rebrand.
I'm getting very bogged down in very stupid details.
I thought you
very
might have
hungover.
changed your names to match them, but that's fair.
Yeah, maybe you could,
Actually,
one of you could be called
I
Strange
actually,
and the other
now
one
that you
could be
mentioned it-
Ways.
That is actually right. We did do that. It's been so long. I had forgotten.
I feel like we aren't quite getting the truth out of you two, but anyway, so what are we doing, gang?
So, well,
Well, I
what's
think we
happening
should-
with these stolen children? I'm
We
quite
should
interested
investigate
to...
the fairy floss factory, eh?
Yes. And actually, if you need to go to the Feywild, I reckon we could help you out there if you sort out this fairy floss situation.
Oh.
The
Well,
fairy
that would
floss
be
situation.
mighty helpful.
The fairy floss situation with
Not
the
the
children.
missing children. Oh,
The
okay.
missing children
Can you-
situation.
Oh, right.
Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, can you tell me, is there any truth to the rumor that your fairy floss is made using real fairies? That's what we heard. We heard screaming out the back that definitely wasn't people on rides or children being kidnapped.
To be honest, the fairy floss factory wasn't always here. I'm
Mhm.
not quite sure when it started, but it's possible. I don't know.
Not really a hands-on manager, are you?
No, I was kind of thinking that. You don't know
Yeah, you
when.
guys, not
Give
what's
us
happening with the
backseat.
day-to-day.
It kind of just runs itself.
You kind of ideas people, right? You just kind of put
Well,
things, the vibe, and check the vibe.
It's plausible deniability, tale as old as time.
We do other stuff in the book, but we don't really get to that. That's okay.
You know, at the start of this conversation, I thought the bug guy was quite weird. But as we go along, what he is saying is making more and more sense.
The more time you spend with me, the more I will open your eyes to the truth.
Okay, don't push your luck.
We need to get this guy a podcast. You've
Yeah.
got some great ideas, and we just need to give you a platform and share them, and maybe some like really strong debates.
Funny you should mention that. You can find me on Spotify at A Bug's Life.
Oh, okay. Can listen into
You
it.
should
It's life
start
with a
that.
Y for copyright reasons.
You should start that as a podcast, Emil. That'd be great.
Just unbridled rants.
Yeah.
2 episodes of you ranting about Big Carnival.
Yeah.
You can get that on Patreon, folks.
That's funny.
Right. So, which way
That's a
is it
great
to this?
side
I mean, I know I'm super annoying and everything, but which way is it to this factory?
I mean,
Well, it's
what do you
that
mean?
way.
You know? You don't know.
You've been there before.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. We went there, and then we had to chase the Kenku.
That's
I mean,
right.
Chase kerosene. Oh, we should just probably backtrack.
Yeah. And that is where we will do a Patreon segment. Thanks, Jack.
Sorry for all the listeners with a hair trigger gag reflex out there that just vomited on the
rough.
tram, right?
Really
Like-
rough.
But that's why you should join Patreon and, get
what-
it done.
That's what they call ASM.
All right.
Um,
So, what the hell is going on here? This is a strange. This is a strange carnival. I am used to logic and reason and things, 1 foot in front of the other. But I got conspiracy theories. I got missing children. I got fairies being milked. I don't.
Paper mache hands.
Paper mache hands putting themselves on me. I do not like to be touched. Okay.
I am right there with you, Doelene, a being of logic as well. And if we remember, we are supposed to go to the Feywild. And if Mr. Witch and Mr. Light know how to get there and they will show us, then it stands to reason that we should go to the Fairy Floss Factory and figure this the fuck out.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
All right.
ride. And
Well,
he
jump
puts
on,
on
everyone.
another pair of shades, like just
Over the top of
second
the ones
pair-
you're already
over
wearing.
the top of the ones I've got on. And then, like, you know, jumps on top of Unit and just kind of like whacks him on the robot behind and is like, away! Back to where we were before, the factory. Yeah.
Unit's wheels spin.
Oh, we're going to go past the toffee apple machine again because
If you'd
I
like
think
to,
that's
Kevin.
really going to help.
Yes, and we will get you 5 toffee apples.
Yes! He puts on a third pair of sunglasses.
You can see nothing. It's nighttime.
But
Your
you
eyes,
look
those
super
goggles do
cool.
nothing.
The cricket that you know as Randy sees you kind of. Are you all leaving? Is that what's going on? On
Yeah.
the unit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't fuck it up.
His antennae had been like bugging out since the mention of Zabilna, and he kind of tries to follow you subtly without your knowledge. Follows the speeding unit.
Can I make a
towards-
perception check?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm making a stealth check. If you're making a perception check, that's for damn sure.
Oh, yeah. Like a nat 20.
Well, I got 22, so that's a damn good check, Greg.
No, 24 is my skill total. So.
I guess you see me like springing from tent to tent in the shadows.
I
Hey
got an
everybody!
8.
Hey everybody! That wacko cricket is following us. Do you think he's weird, but like so are we? So
Exactly. No stranger than any of the other folk in this
I don't
carnival.
know. I thought he was speaking some truth.
that is my that sort of attitude is
I
my
really-
deepest concern about.
I'm very susceptible to persuasion, and I've got to tell you, he's a very convincing fellow.
Okay. So that's one vote against.
I'm here.
No, I'm all for it. Bring it in.
I'm here to persuade you, Walter, that he's not the most convincing fellow. I think you'll find if you really look deep down.
Is
in
someone
your-
talking?
No, not someone, something, Walter.
Oh. Yes.
Steam starts to come out of like some of my vents on the
Hot,
side.
hot, 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 hot.
Sorry, I don't know why that happened. I think I might have felt angry for a moment. Is that emotion?
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
I'll stop trying to persuade you,
Said the
Walter, because there's
narrator.
no fucking point. There's that disembodied voice again.
You all stand out the front of the Fairy Floss factory. Though it is a tent, it is still unmistakably a factory. Its shark-tooth roof just towers above every other nearby tent. And a big canvas chimney can be seen billowing a rainbow bloom of smoke. And I think that is where we're going to leave the episode. I think.
Unless
Unless you
anyone
have
has
any
any
other quick-
objections.
Yeah.
Anyone got a funny one-liner that we can chuck in for the...
A fourth pair of sunglasses.
It is not clear why mice and men were ever involved in the planning of anything. Neither of them is particularly capable, and it's doubtful anyone would entrust plans, let alone the best laid ones, at their feet or paws. Still, it seems all of everything is built upon the sort of foundation anyway. So what does that say of mice and men? And plans, for that matter? I suspect it doesn't say very much of anything at all.
found yourself at the dissection, the tight 5 minutes of talk about our own show. It's the fart-smelling super hour. Welcome. Who wants to breathe it in first?
Delicious. Oh, I thought hang on. Oh, Jack, I thought you doing 3 voices talking to each other was done pretty damn well.
I think you could have done 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Fucking one of the worst parts of being a dungeon master, in my opinion, is that like, because it's just it's such a a difficult thing to like be juggling that amount of voices and keep it coherent and not get yourself confused and still be like, oh, am I still being entertaining and shit? Like it's I hate whenever there's multiple NPCs.
I
well
never
done. It
want
was
to do
great.
that ever again.
Yeah.
So next time we encounter Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, they will be alone.
Yeah.
Not with the other.
Yeah, no,
They've got a
but
paper mache hand across one of their faces.
Yeah.
Like,
just one of them is constantly going to the bathroom.
Yeah,
They're just alternating
Yeah.
bathroom trips. Yeah.
that's right.
So, of course, I know what happened in that episode, Jack. But what would you say is the bullet points takeaways for the listener who just wants to fast forward to this moment in the app and listen to 2
They just
minutes?
I don't want to listen to the actual episode. I want to listen to them sniffing each other's farts
The dot
about
point.
the episode.
Are you
Yeah.
suggesting that was confusing? I don't know that I
No.
like your tone.
I'm
Benjamin.
just asking. I'm hiding the fact that I wasn't listening to a word any of us said.
you give us the
No.
TLDR, that'd be great.
Yeah. DL.
Yeah.
Did not listen.
Well, you got
That'd be TLDNL. Sorry.
You got infiltrated by, well, the tent that you were all in, which was Kettle Steam's tent, got infiltrated by Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
Yes.
And
After it was infiltrated by me, obviously.
after it was infiltrated by Randy
Shackleford.
Shackleton,
Shackleford,
allegedly.
allegedly.
They're not happy with the Kenku.
Yeah.
They almost killed her, but it actually was her.
It was. So
that
they
was a
did
fuck
some.
up.
They did some magic on her to try and see if she was who she said she was. The
Yeah.
magic proved that she was, and she was like, "Fuck, you guys are the worst. There's these things happening at your festival. You're not paying that much attention. You should do something about it." And they were like, "Fuck, yeah, we didn't realize that was going on. You should go fix it."
Yeah, they
Um,
they sound like horrible fucking bosses.
Yeah.
They're fucking gonna put this fucking carnival into the ground.
Walter would fit right in.
I actually,
I actually have quite a successful shellfish company. Okay, you know.
Or does Daddy have a successful
Daddy has one.
selfish
Yeah,
company?
And
Daddy's.
I have his credit card, so
Daddy gave you a managing director role. I was actually going to take that spell, Jack, that you used there for Doelene, the 100-point ID spell check.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
You got a
that's
passport?
actually in the book, so you're welcome
Yeah.
to it. Yeah,
Hmm.
it is
Yeah, but
one
I-
spell slot though. So
I am intrigued. I was really intrigued by that interaction in terms of like, so, you know, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, they were thinking that the Kenku who had been fucking up shit was something else. Like maybe it was a demon or
A ghoul or
ghoul or a
Hag.
hag.
Yeah, we didn't really follow
and
that up with him, did we?
Why that was their sort of like that was their reasoning behind it. And so for them to be jumping to that, and then once it was like, oh, okay, no, actually you are who you say you are, you know, why they're worried of that infiltration is kind of
Sounds like they got some enemies, right?
yeah, I think so. But then
That's
they're and then they're like not paying much attention to what's been happening, but they don't want to be changing up their situation because they're on a bit of a gravy train or whatever. You know, and
Yeah.
I'm
Them saying
very
that
sus to them.
The carnival likes them. It's
Mhm.
kind of creepy
Yeah.
as well. I'm like, is that some sort of life-sustaining force or?
Interesting.
classic big carnival agenda.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So you like about Randy, he makes some really good points.
Yeah, just how he makes them. And so, Jack, what species did you say they were again?
they're Shadow Kai, which
Right.
is just elves.
Big Big elves.
Big elves.
Big,
Yeah.
Are they like from the Shadowfell or something?
Yes.
Right.
I don't know what that means, but that's
like-
what that. That's
Sort of
where
like
they're from.
Stranger Thingsy, right? The upside down.
Yeah.
It's the thing that happens after the shadow trip, the shadow fell. So, guys, that's the end of the Type 5 with the the dissection. No, it's good to have you back at the table, Lauren. By the way, that was lovely. Thanks for
Yes.
playing.
Thank you. And I'm not feeling. Oh boy. Oh, every word's a bit of an effort. Which is
Have you
why
embodied-
But you make them count.
But I'm making them count.
You've embodied Kevin's hangover.
Very, very much so. I think it maybe is a bit interesting that we're very inquiring and we want to get to the bottom of these mysteries, but clearly we're not going to get to the bottom of them. Like that's the whole purpose, right? So I feel like sometimes I'm not the one answering the questions. I was sort of asking the questions, like I'm thinking it, but I'm like kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna sit back a little bit and like let somebody else kind of like lead us and just maybe be a slight bumbling comic relief, which I am enjoying, I think, very much. And it's really nice to have Unit / Ben, like, as a player, kind of, also, because you are, like, you're on fucking tracks, and I'm just like, I'm just woodleying to the Lano over here. So apologies for not being more useful. But this is where I'm starting to find something here, and I'm really enjoying it.
Well, on that note, it's been a treat. It's been a pleasure. It's been a joy. We'll see you next time for another episode of Into the Feywild.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye for
Didn't need to say
now.
bye. That was fun. That was a good wrap up.
See you later.
Yeah, whatever. Ruined it.
Yeah. Oh well.